Glad you could join us on News Hour at 2. My name is Sani Abdurrahman. We start this hour from the Upper West region, where we understand the Nadoli-Laura Hamile Highway is expected to be opened to traffic by the close of today. Though the reopening is temporary, drivers and other users say it would not only reduce traveling time, but also the additional cost incurred. Our correspondent Salah Abdul Wahab has been monitoring the development in the region and joins us with some more details. Salah, glad you could join us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me, Sani.
Salah, first of all, tell us what is the current state of the route we are talking about now that we know it has been reopened to traffic, to kind of ease the burden that the people have been facing as a result of the flash floods in the region in recent times?
Well, the portions of the route that were washed off is not all that have been open to the traffic as we speak. The portions that were seriously damaged were at two places, Goiri and Nadoli, and then Yiziri and Yaga. So last Friday, the Goiri and Nadoli's portion was patched. And so as we speak now, vehicles are able to pass that portion. And they are able to get to Nadoli. But when they get to Nadoli, they cannot still use that of the Laura road because the one at Yiziri is still being fixed. So we were there this morning, and the assurances by the contractor, that is Ghanim, was that that road would be open to traffic today. And
that was my colleague Salah Abdul Wahab, who has been sharing some more details on the situation in the Upper West region, where we are learning that the Nadoli-Laura Hamile highway is expected to be reopened to traffic today. Salah, we lost you briefly.
Yes, I'm back on the line.
Yes, go ahead with your point.
So I was saying that it is not the entire route that has been open to the traffic as we speak.
Yes.
The portion that has been opened already is the one at Goriyiri, between Goriyiri and Nadoli. That one has been open to the public. And if you know the route very well, you can get up to Nadoli. From Nadoli to Laura or Babili, that is where we have another big challenge. And that is where the contractor is currently fixing. And the assurances was that that portion of the road will be open to the traffic by the close of the day. And when that happens, it is going to be a big site of relief for the motorists who ply that route, because for the past 3 weeks, no vehicle has been able to pass there. And if it is that now the portion has been fixed and vehicles can pass, that means it's a big, development for the people of the region.
Salah, a bit away from the road, the last time we spoke to you on this matter, you shared with us that the affected communities were asking for support in terms of food supplies, among other items that they would need in this difficult time. I want to know whether they have been extended these supports.
Well, apart from the one that NADMO extended to the affected persons, we are not aware of any other support that has been extended to them. Because I know of a meeting between UNDP and NADMO and other development partners, and the purpose was to see how those who are affected can be supported. In fact, when you are able to go to the hinterland, it is that many farm acres have been washed off. But those that are lucky to still have their farms not washed away completely need fertilizer. They need fertilizer badly. And this year, access to the subsidized fertilizer is a challenge in the region here. And so their biggest challenge now is how to be able to access the fertilizer so that they can apply to the maize that do not look encouraging. But MOFA says if they are able to get fertilizer and apply, they are likely to be able to get something. But access to the fertilizer as we speak is a challenge. And so it is not only food that they may need immediately, but also fertilizer so that they will be able to revive their farms and can harvest something at the close of the season.
Sola, you're part of the Red Cross Society team together with NADMO when they visited some of the affected communities to assess the situation, and they made a pledge of providing some tents to the displaced. I want to know if these have been provided to the communities.
Yes, those who are in need have been provided. And we were told that the tents are of different sizes. Some can accommodate a family of 5, others a family of 7. And so the families were assessed based on their needs. And those who were found to need them were provided with one. And so I can say that yes, some did get the tents and they are managing with the situation. But one issue that came up with the disruption of movement in the region here was the increase in transport fares. Those who ply the road that was affected had to pay almost twice the fare they used to pay, because drivers say they were now using alternative routes which are longer or almost twice the normal route. And so the passengers had to bear the cost. And so, for instance, what Laura taxi used to charge 20 cedis, but when this problem came, some of them were taking 40 Ghana.
So that's all that time will permit us in this package. We'll be awaiting your full reports on the development in the region. Back in Accra, government through the Ministry of Roads and Highways on Monday pledged its support for private estate developers to fix their inner roads to lessen financial burdens on them. We'll bring you that story later. Let's do some stories on the issues of security in the country. Illegal possession of offensive weapons, especially firearms, continues to be a challenge for Ghana and the country's security apparatus. A number of armed robberies, murders, and what appears to be contract killings have taken place in the past few days, most of which involved the use of firearms. Security analyst Mr. Adam Bona says there is an ongoing advocacy for the Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons to be made an authority. The agency will then have the power to ensure proper transfer of weapons and weapons license renewal and establish appropriate punitive measures for unlawful handling and possession of firearms and other weapons in the country.
That are legitimately registered never get renewed, and so let's have a centralized database capturing everybody who owns a firearm in Ghana. If you haven't renewed it, the penalty should be punitive enough for you not to renew it. But these kind of people don't renew it, so we don't look for them.
Security and safety expert Mr. Adam Bona said the proliferation of firearms can be curtailed if local producers of the weapons are identified in our communities.
Obviously, you cannot go into a community without knowing who a blacksmith is. Most of them have turned themselves into gunsmiths, producing firearms, all sorts of firearms. Mind is that there has to be that concerted effort. Are we training them? If we think that we're cutting, them off their source of, livelihood, it's a challenge. How do we do? Can we, retrain them to do something else? And if you have to produce, let's say, cooking ware, is the government going to buy this cooking ware for maybe schools or, caterers? Let's have a policy where maybe school caterers are going to be made to use cooking ware produced by these blacksmiths. If we can put in more effort at, making it lucrative for them to produce these things and sell them, then they'll move away from producing gun. If not, you would arrest 1,000 boys with sidearms or single barrel and, double barrel revolvers produced locally, but you have not arrested the guy who produced them.
Commenting on the use of firearms by herdsmen and the recent arrest of the 22 herdsmen in Donkokrom in the Franklin's North District of the Eastern Region, Mr. Bonner said though herdsmen would continue to protect their cattle, their use of firearms should be controlled.
People even lose their firearms and they don't report to the police. They say, oh, the armed robbers came and beat me and took my gun away, or they broke into my house and my gun was stolen. So you have young boys who are literally armed with firearms. These days, festivals, they are shooting and killing people. Funerals, those days, musketries, it's just gunpowder. Today, they are using the BB cartridges. And BB cartridge is more lethal than the AK-47 bullet. So we need to work a bit faster in ensuring that these weapons, light weapons and small arms in the hands of people is taken out, and also the herdsmen. They use them to protect their cattle. And when they no longer have the cattle, what do they use them for? Farmers, when they no longer have their farms, what do they use the firearms for? And these are the questions we should be asking. Nomadic herdsmen, I can tell you that 99% of them with firearms are not registered.
Security analyst Adam Bonner there sharing his expertise on how we can deepen security in the country. Let's go back to our earlier story where government has pledged its support for private estate developers to fix their inner roads to lessen financial burdens on them.
On a tour of some project sites in Greater Accra, the Roads Minister, Mr. Amakwata, visited the Dev Traco Community 18 site. He said his visit was necessitated by reports he received from the people. The Residents Association has contributed to fix the inner roads and drain system in the community and were commended by the minister. Mr. Amakwata called on others to emulate and pledge the government support for the project.
My ministry is prepared. Any developer should take advantage of it. Come to the ministry. Liaise with us. We will give you the support, in an attempt even to bring the cost of housing down.
Mr. Makwata was not happy about the level of shoddy work on inner roads for gated communities by some developers. The association's president, Mr. Daniel Boache, thanked the minister for the timely intervention to help solve their challenges. The minister also inspected ongoing projects on the Tema General Hospital Road bypass from the Tema Motorway Roundabout, Tema Ashaiman Overpass, and the Phase 2 extension project of the Obechebi Lamte interchange at the Abosokai Central Mosque area. Mr. Makwata charged the contractors to ensure the project's completion in good time.
We should stop this administrative bureaucracy. If there's any problem with electricity, if there's any problem with water, let me know. I will take it up with my colleague ministers. Honorable Abradapa will not cause any delay. Honorable Matthew Opoku Prempe will not cause any delay. And I will not cause any delay. Nobody should slow us down administratively. I don't want this project to delay even for a day. And in our country, we should stop this kind of thing.
The 24-month project, which started in March 2021, is expected to be completed in 2023. It involves the fixing of roads in and around the enclave.
Back in Accra, squatters at the Legend village near the 37 military hospital in Accra are pleading for extension of the deadline as the time draws near for them to be ejected. Owners of the land on which the people are squatting have served notice that they will demolish structures on the land on the said dates. GBC News visited the slum and interacted with those living there.
Legion Village is the slum near the Opebia house in Accra, not very far from the 37 military hospital. According to the residents, they were served notice somewhere last month to quit the place latest by September 4, 2021. They think the grace period is too short. Wafaya, the leader of the residents at the Legion Village, says his shelter has been demolished on 2 occasions and thieves stole his items.
Mankasa medical police station. A post for no every homo penino or catasam so. Miss Mankasa, the time baby. And no crag langard for us a bah. Semi you know, didn't you know, man. To be on Morocco. I said, be. That's all.
Ibrahim Abdul Rahman, a shoemaker living in Islam, said they were not given any notice before the demolition date was set and they are not well prepared to vacate the land. He pleads with the landowners to extend the date for the demolition.
Up to December, say unqua. I can do a bit do na ya prepare.
As I see Rano, only Pamobo. Now the Kakana called the Bamayan, and now saving for Bamayan next year. Nanki ya move, yes, Rano.
This woman, who has 5 children and has lost her husband, is also pleading for more time to relocate.
Bikitankwala 5, me omu bip kunewu. Timesaso momboy, and I'm a baby, I may a quatana. Miniscando Quaco Hardai.
Others are calling on the government and MP for the area, Madam Lydia Al-Hassan, for help.
You heard the story of the residents who are asking for an extension to enable them relocate. In some other stories, at a 4-day training of surveyors in Accra, the professionals were given better understanding on how women could now acquire land without male representation at the time of acquisition. This is part of the innovations introduced to land administration contained in the new Land Act 2020, Act 1036 of women exercising their rights.
In an ever-changing world, it has always been necessary to reskill to become resilient, and trainings such as this are to ensure that the various stakeholders involved keep abreast of the new Act, Act 1036. The Act introduces new provisions relating to customary land management, compulsory acquisition and vesting of lands, electronic conveyancing, and spousal land rights, among others, for effective and efficient land administration in Ghana. Members of the Ghana Institute of Surveyors, comprising land surveying, quality surveying, and land valuation divisions, were encouraged to contribute a bit to bring sanity to the land sector.
Another innovation which has found itself in the statute you all know about, particularly those of you who are around the Lands Commission setup, the customary land secretariats. Finally, these have been institutionalized. The customary land secretariats, which all the land-owning entities now has legal legislative backing.
The chairman for the Land Surveying Division, Mr. Christian Aqua, said the institution is working closely with the Attorney General to finalize the Survey Council bill before its presentation to Parliament for consideration.
We are hoping this year the bill will be passed, because we know land matters in Ghana is not a small issue. It can bring conflict, it can cause death and the rest. So it's very important those who are surveyors should get this law passed so that to regulate surveying in Ghana.
The new Land Act 2020, Act 1036, seeks to address the multitude of land issues in various parts of the country. The training had a theme, the Land Act and the land surveyors.
The Ghana Broadcasting Corporation is putting in place structures to set up its own production house. To this effect, management of the state broadcaster has organized a training program for staff of the technical production of the corporation. The larger goal of this is GBC's transformational agenda of moving from bureaucracy to business.
Management believes that for the state's broadcaster to achieve its overall goal of moving from bureaucracy to business, every staff member must be on board. In this light, staff of the technical production department have been schooled in operations of a new software acquired to help transform its production and rake in revenue for the corporation. They were also taken through modern trends of technology in the broadcasting industry and how the staff can adapt to these trends. The head of marketing, Mr. Tonio said it is not enough for a training program to be organized, but every staff needs to be reoriented in the direction GBC is driving towards. The head of Studio Center, Mr. Benjamin Square, said they are ready to apply the knowledge they have acquired to help GBC achieve its goal.
One thing has to do with how we manage cost of production and leverage on that to make more profits. The technology is there. How to tap into the technology is the issue. So today we have all learned and benefited that one way we can do that is to leverage the technology we have. And thankfully, GBC already has taken the lead per the technical advice that has been given. So we have provided certain logistics, which we know is going to help us achieve that. And so you'll be seeing that often. Even for news, you'll be seeing it. Now these days, just one reporter, you'll be able to go, bring live feed, report on it, either go live or bring your recording for editing.
Mr. Paul Archer expressed the hope that the training has equipped staff with the requisite skills and knowledge to reposition GBC as the most authentic and trusted voice of Ghana.
Now we say the world is a global village. So you're only not thinking of Ghana, you are thinking of the whole world. What is new in the world today? You must also incorporate that in your activities, in your programming, and you must have a focus. You must have all the target groups. We have the youth, we have the elderly, we have those who can only speak some particular language, and at the same time too, we have people who are only interested in some type of music and all that. And GBC must be strategically placed to satisfy everybody, not losing the sight of that financial aspect, which will also keep us doing what the people want us to do.
A former staff of GBC, Mr. Frederick Kumase, and the Director General of GBC were awarded for their contribution to the corporation.
Now, from a post-election survey conducted by the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, CDD, Ghanaians expect politicians and public officials to be accountable for their actions, show integrity in their words, and be honest, respectful, and competent.
The survey, initiated in 2016, was aimed at picking early warning signals by tracking public opinion on the overall level of the country's preparedness for elections and post-election, to complement the already existing pre-election surveys, which have since the last two elections contributed to the peaceful conduct of polls. The Center initiated the post-election survey in 2021 to measure citizens' post-elections expectations and views on local government and decentralization issues. Dr. Kojo Asante is the Director of Advocacy and Policy Engagement.
It is our hope that the results from the research we are releasing today and what we release subsequently will be useful in helping the leadership of the country as well as the political class work towards addressing the concerns of citizens. And there's our hope that the media and the general public will hold our leaders to account to ensure that we reap the dividends of democracy.
This year, the post-election survey focused on the ruling government performance so far, expectations of the citizenry on the 8th Parliament, and manifesto promises made during the election campaigns. The Director of Research, Dr. Edem Salome, presented the findings of the survey. Top 5 policy priorities Ghanaians want the government to address are unemployment, infrastructure and roads, education, management of the economy, and health.
If these are the priorities, where should resources be allocated? Again, we ask citizens the priority for additional government investment. Again, we see education up there, infrastructure, healthcare, and agriculture as the 4 areas that Ghanaians actually recommend for additional investment in case government wants to increase spending.
Former Minister for Health under the John Mahama administration, Mr. Alexander Sebefia, commended CDD for the good work done and called on the government to work on issues of corruption to gain the confidence of all.
Of course, the government has also responded to the reports of the CDD, citing its disagreement with portions of the survey. Away from that story, research conducted by WaterAid Ghana has revealed that 80% of diseases in Ghana are caused by drinking unsafe water and poor sanitation. WaterAid Ghana has therefore called on government to prioritize the production of clean water, good sanitation and hygiene in national climate adaptation planning to combat climate change. WaterAid made the call at a breakfast meeting with interest groups in Accra.
In 2020, WaterAid Global embarked on climate change advocacy, and Ghana, being a member country, developed an advocacy strategy, one of which is to lobby decision makers to focus on climate change issues. The meeting in Accra is second in the series of dialogues by WaterAid to engage stakeholders in water, sanitation and hygiene (WASH) in the country. WaterAid Ghana presented the outcome of the research it conducted on the impact of climate change on water security. According to the research, Northern Ghana is the worst affected with regard to climate change. Dr. Enchibwesiakun of EPA led the discussion on the research findings. The participants, who included representatives from Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Ghana Statistical Service, Institute for Environment and Sanitation at the University of Ghana, and experts in the WASH sector, were concerned about the practical effect of climate change on the individual livelihood and policy implementation.
The question is, how are we as individual institutions and sectors understanding or digesting these issues, and how are we domesticating these important studies and lessons that are flowing out from national policies and individual researches that we are undertaking.
The head of programs at WaterAid Ghana, Mr. Jesse Kofi Danku, lamented over why those directly affected by climate change are left out of national climate adaptation dialogues.
The government needs to take action to ensure that whatever intervention is happening, clean water is prioritized. And innovatively engage climate change prone sensitive communities in national climate adaptation dialogues. For this Galamsey issue, I think government must devise a new strategy. Let the communities or the areas themselves lead the fight against the Galamsey. Then government can come from behind and crack the whip.
WaterAid Ghana says it will continue with its advocacy on climate change until the needed change is realized. Rachel Quarty, GBC News, Accra.
The teachers and classmates of 15-year-old Isaac Amo of the Aplaku MA1 Basic School in Accra have joined an effort with his caregivers to seek public support for treatment at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Isaac Amo, who is said to be a brilliant student, suddenly took ill from a strange disease. Isaac Amo is now bedridden and depends on his aging grandmother for all his needs.
And then do them right now. Is that clear? Yes, okay.
The Aplaku MA Basic School is one of 3 located at Aplaku near Kokrobite and off the Kaswa Old Barrier Road. These are classmates of 15-year-old Isaac Amwa, who are soon to graduate to JHS3. Since June this year, Isaac has been absent from school, and to his peers and teachers, this is worrying.
He's a very good boy. He comes to school regularly and on time too. So when we saw that he wasn't coming to school, we're like, what's wrong with the boy? After some time, we got to know that he's not well, and he's in a very critical condition.
We try to contribute a little amount of money but it wasn't sufficient. So we are pleading on behalf of Isaac Amwa so that Ghanaians can help him to recover.
The amount realized was just a drop in the ocean. We plan to take him to hospital. I hear they were referred to Kolebu, but for financial difficulties, they couldn't go.
Ghanaians, any means you can do to save his life financially, please do so, and he can come back to join us in school.
Isaac Amwa is also distressed that his life is wasting away due to ill health. His dream of becoming an architect can only be realized when he surmounts his illness. He is now bedridden with sores without any form of treatment or aid. Isaac recalls how he felt a sprain in the neck a couple of months ago and has not recovered from the rippling effect ever since.
If you go in more, drop it, and I'm a con. I Jimmy J. Na and I'm beefing back at you, mammy. I did quite cheer, Mukwana. And I'm with you do the year. The year and let you change. A chicken, a cost. A die as I swallow you.
Isaac is orphaned and lives with his grandmother in squalor with hardly any money to go by. According to one of his relatives, Mr. Daniel Dodu, when they sought medical attention at a nearby hospital, they were not paid any attention due to lack of funds. An appeal for funds has been launched by the students to support Isaac Amwa seek treatment at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Donors who wish to financially support Isaac Amwa to keep up daily can do so through MTN Momo number 0549 388 987. Account name Anthony Yesuto Kwame Kwagbenu. Sarah for GBC News, Accra.
In other stories, a 21-year-old Kingsley Kofi Boachi is reported missing, and according to his father, Mr. Kofi Nyamiche, Kingsley left his residence at Newtown in Sunyani at about 7 a.m. on 11th July 2021. Since then, all efforts to trace him have proven futile, and the parents are asking for support to locate him. We understand Kingsley attended Sunyani High School and was last seen in a blue t-shirt over khaki shorts with white sandals. His family is therefore appealing to the public to help find Kingsley Kofi Boachi. Kingsley is about 5 feet tall, fair in complexion, and speaks Twi and English. Anyone with information on Kingsley's whereabouts should contact his father, Mr. Kofi Nyamiche, on the contact numbers 0242 027 867, 0555 256 856, or report to the nearest police station. It's still news live on GBC News and GTV. We are also live on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We are going for a short break. We return with business.